Good evening, and welcome to the opening show of Season 8 of Shhh Productions Vintage Radio Hour, sponsored by our friends at Dutch Creek Winery. Our COVID-inspired project now encompasses almost 160 fantastic performers and technicians, ages 10 to 83, from 21 states, Canada, and the UK, and seeks to transport our wonderful audiences back to the golden days of radio. Our gifted storytellers will ignite your imaginations by bringing you a collection of 3 shows filled with laughs, suspense, fear, and maybe a little mischief. The upcoming show, You'll Be Dead in a Month, part of the I Love a Mystery series from the 40s and 50s, features the cast of Shelley Irwin from Michigan, Wolf Sherrill from Colorado, Jim Gallagher and Christine Asero from Maryland, Tony Roseboro, Mark Mann from Ohio, and Vinnie Mason from Virginia, in a classic film noir tale of good guys, bad guys, and a mysterious woman, and a lot of milk. So put away your brass knuckles and your saps, and let our eclectic detectives handle any pre-April Fool's dust-ups, and make sure not to spill your drink. And shh.
9 o'clock in the evening, somewhere out on the Strip, to the west of Hollywood. In case you don't know, the Strip is a portion of Sunset Boulevard, which runs through and adjacent to some of the more exclusive residential districts between Hollywood and the Pacific Ocean. In the Strip are some of the more expensive shops, salons, and eating and drinking places. The Strip is not a portion of Los Angeles. Jack Packard, Doc Long, and Reggie York would be apt to patronize. Certainly not the flossy drinking establishments with soft lights, boudoir finishings, and intimate music. And yet, here they are, Jack, Doc, and Reggie, uncomfortably seated on 2 small chairs before a 2 small table in a half-lighted corner of Maggie's intimate drinking salon.
Jack.
Huh?
You sure enough trying to bore Reggie and me to death?
You aren't any more bored than I am.
Then what are we sticking here for? All this plush and soft lights and elegance.
Business.
We gonna do business in Maggie's intimate drinking saloon?
Not saloon.
Well, what's eating you, Reggie? S-A-L-O-N?
Salon.
Well, pardon me while I arch my pinky. I asked you a question, Jack.
Did you?
Yeah. What kind of business we got here in Maggie's place? And by the way, where is Maggie?
I don't know.
Yeah. And all the folks I've seen is the hat check girl out yonder, the one waiter, and the piano player in the next room.
Not a very large retinue of attendants.
Not a very large establishment.
Yeah. Seat about 20, 30 at the most.
That's why it means by Maggie's intimate drinking salon. Small, quiet, and exclusive.
Darned exclusive, if you ask me. Where are all the guests they got?
Isn't there anyone in the other room?
Nope, I can see in there. Nobody but the pianist. Well, we come out even anyway. 3 of us and 3 of them. I'll take the hat check, girl. You two can divide the waiter and the piano player up any way you want.
And now that you've got that settled, will you quiet down while Jack unfolds the plot?
Plot? Oh, you mean the business we got here?
Quite.
Okay, Jack, spill it.
Just a minute. The waiter's coming over.
Huh.
Order anyway.
Will there be something more, gentlemen?
I guess so. Same as before. Reggie?
Quite. Refill.
And you, sir?
Yeah, bring me another glass of milk.
Milk.
That's what I said. Milk.
The bar carries only a limited supply. I'm afraid we're out of milk.
Don't give me no argument. I want milk.
Well, perhaps you would suggest how I get it.
Sure. Go call the bartender.
I beg your pardon.
Go on. Get me another glass of milk.
I will see what can be done.
Hey, and wait a minute.
Yes?
Why ain't the piano player in there playing?
It's a little early in the evening yet.
It ain't early if he's got paying customers, is it?
I would have to take that up with him.
Do that. Tell him to rip off The Last Roundup or the Darktown Strutter's Ball, something like that.
I will mention your suggestions to him. Darktown Strutter's Ball.
I don't think he cares for me.
Can you blame him? When did you take up milk as a beverage?
Well, I had my first swig of it when I was about 3, 4 hours old. Been drinking it off and on ever since.
But not in places like this.
I'm just ordering milk now on account of makes our waiter so darn mad. Takes it a personal insult. Hey, what is that, Jack?
Letter.
Yeah, I can see it's a letter, son.
You mean it explains the reason for our being here?
Yes. Want to hear it?
Sure. Kind of fancy paper, ain't it? Ain't that a girl's handwriting? What's it say?
If you'll keep still long enough, I'll read it.
Shoot, son.
It came this afternoon. It's from a girl who signs herself Eve Carson.
Any relation to Kit?
Will you curb that undeveloped sense of humor until I'm finished?
Not funny, huh?
Not funny.
Okay, shoot.
The letter is signed Eve Carson, whoever that is. And this is what she says. It will be very much to your advantage to meet me in Maggie's intimate drinking salon on the Strip sometime between 8 and 9 this evening. I will come directly to your table and join you as though I were an old friend. Please treat me as such. What I have to say to you will take only a few moments, but will mean a great deal to me as well as to you and your two friends, Eve Carson.
Is that all?
That's all.
And that's why we're here, to meet Eve Carson and treat her like an old friend.
That's right.
Here, let me look at that letter.
Go ahead.
Very much to your advantage to meet me. Does she mean by that she's young and good looking, you suppose?
Here, give me the letter.
Well, I always did say it was to a fellow's advantage to meet a young, good looking girl.
But she said between 8 and 9, Jack, and it's 10 minutes after 9 right now.
Well, you mean she ain't coming?
You know as much as I do.
But what the...
Hold it. Waiter's coming back.
Hi, sport. See you found some milk.
Quite.
Sure, I knew you'd find some if you tried.
However, I am to inform you that this is positively the last milk I can serve.
Don't know any accommodating cows personally, I don't suppose?
If you please.
Okay, let it go. Did you talk to the piano player?
I did.
Well, why ain't he playing?
He is not so disposed.
He's what?
He's not so disposed.
What kind of talk's that? Did you tell him I asked him to play?
I did.
What'd he say?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, he did he? Well, I derned his ornery hide.
Hey, Duck, sit down. Here you are, waiter. Keep the change. Now, beat it.
Thank you. With the greatest of pleasure.
Hey, Jack, we're being insulted by the whole outfit in this place.
But, Doc, you started it.
Me?
Quite. You've been writing the waiter ever since we came in.
I ain't done nothing to the piano player. I mean, not yet, I ain't.
And you're not going to do anything to him either.
Are you a friend of yours?
No.
Then what the hurt am I
We
gonna...
aren't starting anything in this place until we know why we're here.
Well, it doesn't look like we're ever going to know.
Sure. Your girlfriend Eve Carson said between 8 and 9. It's 9:15 right now, and we're
Wait
just...
a minute. Somebody's coming in.
No women, though.
You can see it out in the hallway.
Quite. 3 men, giving up their coats to the hat check girl.
Huh. Funny place for 3 men to come without women.
Well, after all, we 3 came here.
For a reason. Besides, we expected to meet a woman here.
Here they come.
Jack, did you notice something? That piano player begun to play the minute them 3 come in the entrance.
Sitting down across the room from us. Queer looking setup.
Doc,
Yeah?
do you have to stare at them? Relax.
Did you see what I seen?
What did you see?
2 of our 3 customers are gorillas. They're toting pistols and they don't seem to care who knows it.
Bit on the flea-bitten side. Don't seem to have much in common with the 3rd member of the party.
Yeah, he's a kind of nice-looking chap. What suppose you think he's doing associating with them kind of monkeys?
Now look, Doc, we came here for a special purpose. We don't care why a good-looking, well-dressed, obviously cultured young man is associating with a couple of thugs. It's none of our business.
Yeah, but if one of them thugs should come over here and start something, then it would be our business now, wouldn't it?
They're not coming over here to start something, if you don't give them a reason to. Now, leave them alone.
Okay, fella. Hey, waiter.
Now, what do you want?
Hey, waiter.
You spoke to me?
That's right. Get me another glass of milk.
I think I told you there is no more milk.
Looky, am I gonna have trouble with you?
I beg your pardon?
Get me another glass of milk.
Perhaps you'd prefer to go to some other establishment.
No, I wouldn't prefer to go to some other establishment. Get me a glass of milk and step on it.
I will see what I can do.
Well, go in and do it.
Next thing he'll be wanting is a nursing bottle.
What are you antagonizing him for, Doc? You don't really want any more milk.
I know it. It's just that I'm bored. Besides, he's been trying to hi-hat us all evening. Will you folks excuse me for a minute?
Doc, sit down.
No, I got something I just gotta attend to. I'm gonna go in there and talk to the piano player for a minute.
What about?
Music, son, music. What do you talk to piano players about?
That should be good. Doc, on the subject of music.
Reggie,
Yes?
get ready for trouble. This place is loaded with dynamite, and that crazy idiot Doc Long's determined to set it off.
I don't get you. What's going to happen?
I don't know, but keep your eye on Doc and be ready to move. Fast. Something's coming to a head in a hurry.
Hiya, son. You the whole doggone symphony orchestra in this joint?
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, mind if I lean on the piano and watch you?
Why not?
Thanks. My name's Doc Long.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Them's my two sidekicks in there, Jack Packard and Reggie York. Funny joint you got in here.
Why?
Well, it's all dolled up like a woman's bedroom.
Well, if you don't like it, there's lots of other places on the strip.
Sure, I know. Funny thing, though, don't it seem like this was the kind of place that'd attract a couple of gun-slinging gorillas, now does it? What's the matter?
There's a couple of triggermen in here now.
Sure. You surprised?
Why'd you come in here and tell me?
Well, just thought you might be interested. Oh, here comes the waiter with my milk. In here, waiter. Go on with your playing. I kind of like that last tune.
You always drink milk?
Yeah, not always. Sometimes more than others.
How about having a real drink on the house?
Nope. Thanks just the same.
You wish your milk to be served in here?
Yeah, I'll take it. Did you ever try sipping milk like wine? Tastes all right. Yeah, I throwed that glass of milk in your face.
How dare you throw that milk in my face?
Listen, son, don't never try to serve me no Mickey Finn. Don't never do it, especially in a glass of milk.
You threw milk in my face. Look at my uniform. It's ruined.
Well, maybe you want to make something of it. What's the matter with you, piano player? Why don't you go on playing? This ain't your party.
That's right. It ain't my party, is it?
Well, what about it, waiter? You want we should bounce each other around for a while, or shall we call it quits?
Ill-bred clod.
Oh, and there he goes. Called me an ill-bred cloud on account I didn't drink his Mickey Finn.
We don't serve Mickey Finns in this place.
Well, son, I'm awfully sorry to have to differ with you, but that waiter sure enough tried to dish me one up in that glass of milk.
I think it's time you and your friends were leaving.
Hey, is that friendly?
You're more trouble than you're worth. Get your things and get out.
You don't say.
Yeah.
You know, fella, you almost talk like you was the owner of this joint.
I am.
Oh, no. Come on. Don't give us that stuff. It says right on a sign outside the door that this is Maggie's Drinking Emporium.
I'm Maggie.
No kidding.
Now I want you and your pals out of here in 2 minutes, and just to prove it, you're now looking down the muzzle of a .38.
Well, darned if I ain't. Say, that was a cute trick, flipping a pistol out of your coat at the end of a run on the piano.
Now, never mind the compliment. Get your pals and get going.
Can you play that .38 as good as you play the piano?
I hope for your sake I don't have to show you.
Yeah, I'm mighty glad to see you standing up.
What do you mean?
Because I hate hitting a fella when he's sitting down. Well, goodness, son, you sure did go down easier than I expected. Feeling kind of rubbery in the knees? Oh, a fella shouldn't never ought to pull a gun unless he intends to use it. Now there, come on, sit up on your chair at the piano. Up you come. Now sit. Fella, you're just plain out on your feet. Oh, that's it. Sit down. Okay, sprawl out on the piano if that's how you feel. I gotta be getting back to my sidekicks. Oh, nice meeting you.
In a moment, we'll see what happens behind the doors of Maggie's intimate drinking salon. But first, a word from our sponsor. This evening's broadcast of Shhh Productions vintage radio drama is brought to you in part by Dutch Creek Winery, located in the beautiful countryside of Athens, Ohio, a quick drive from uptown Athens and the rest of the Hocking Hills area. Visit their tasting room located in the scenic hills of southeastern Ohio and stop in to enjoy their unique and amazing small batch wines, ciders, and meads, as well as local craft beers and other treats. Spend an afternoon or evening relaxing in their tasting room or on the enclosed patio overlooking the scenery or in the dog-friendly picnic grove. No reservations required. Enjoy your wine selection expertly paired with a house-made pizza or charcuterie board. Don't forget, Sunday mornings at Dutch Creek Winery means waffle boards and cider mimosas. Visit them at 12157 State Route 690, just 8 miles outside Athens, Ohio, or on the web at DutchCreekWinery.com, Facebook or Instagram for more information on seasonal events and current offerings. Remember to ask for their wines at your favorite local retailer, and they also ship. And now, back to I Love a Mystery.
Hey, Jack, Reggie, you see, well, I'll be doggone. A little old female girl. Where did we get her, Jack?
Don't pay any attention to him. He's only Doc.
Hello, honey.
Hello, Doc.
Well, she's the little old Eve Carson sugar we've been a-waiting for.
Yes, she's Eve Carson.
Well, where do we get her?
She came in while you were in the other room with the piano player. What happened?
Mind if I sit down, Eve Sugar?
Please do.
I asked you what happened in the other room.
Oh, nothing much. One thing, though, that waiter tried to serve me a Mickey and a glass of milk.
Is that why you threw it in his face?
Yeah.
Then what?
Then that piano player drew a 38 on me and said we weren't wanted.
Really drew a gun on you?
Here it is. A little present from me to you.
Please, put it away.
Oh, you don't like guns?
No, please put it in your pocket.
Okay. Well, anyway, I had to smack him a little. He's in there now with his head and his arms laying over the keyboard listening to the birdies. And say, you know who he is?
No. Do you?
Sure. He told me. He's Maggie.
Maggie?
Sure, you know, Maggie's intimate drinking saloon.
Salon.
Yeah. Ain't that a heck of a name for a man? Maggie.
His name isn't Maggie.
But he said he owned this place.
That's right. But his name isn't Maggie. How did you get away with it?
Oh, you mean socking him?
Yes. People don't smack Blackie North.
Who's Blackie North?
The owner of this place. The man you hit. The most dangerous man in Southern California.
Him? Dangerous?
Yes. And what I want to know is, why hasn't one of his triggermen shot holes in you?
Triggermen?
I don't know. Nobody wasn't paying a bit of attention when I whammed him. Everybody just seemed to be looking in the other direction.
Who are you, anyway?
Eve Carson.
Sure, we know that. But who are you? Why did you ask us to meet you in this gunman's hangout? Why is it to our advantage to meet you? Who's Blackie North and why does he have triggermen? And what connection have you with him?
Those are a lot of questions.
And I want an answer to all of them.
You're going to get your answer.
Yeah, and there's one more thing I want an answer to.
What's that?
I want to know why that good-looking boy and then two gorillas across the room haven't taken their eyes off you since you sat down at this table.
And you'll get an answer to that, too.
You mean those three men over there are in on this too?
Yes. Those two rats are a couple of Blackie North's torpedoes.
Yeah, and who's the good-looking dude?
That's Wesley. My brother, Wes Carson. Curly.
Oh, yeah, Jack. That there is a brother, Wes Carson. Curly.
Yes, I heard her. Apparently, Wesley doesn't like his sister out with three strange men in a dump of this kind.
And I don't know's I blame him so much as that. How about me going over and introducing myself and bringing him over here?
No,
Why not?
for two reasons. One of those trigger boys will let anyone have it who goes near West.
Don't say.
You said you had 2 reasons for not going after your brother.
Oh, second, I've got to tell you why I asked you to come here before anything more happens.
You're expecting more to happen?
It's bound to, since Doc here slapped Blackie North around. What's the matter with your other partner here? He hasn't said a word in 10 minutes.
Who, Reggie? Oh, he don't hardly say anything in front of women.
He's acting as our lookout.
Yeah, sort of keeping eyes on things. And the fella that's keeping eyes on things in a place like this ain't got no time for gabbing. Right, Reg, old kid?
Right.
Reggie will look out for our interests, so while we're waiting for the trouble to break, relax and tell us all about it.
You act as though you didn't think there was going to be trouble.
We'll take that when we come to it. It's your turn to talk. Why did you send for us? How did you hear of us in the first place? And what mutual advantage is there in this meeting?
Well, first I've got to tell you who Curly and I are. We are the only members of our family left. I'm 24 and Curly's 28. Between us, we're worth maybe $1 million, maybe $2 million.
Doggone, a little old female gold mine.
That's what a lot of the smart boys thought. Nobody's worked me yet.
Yeah?
Go on with your story, Eve.
Yes. We came to California 2 years ago after Father, our last living relative, died in the East. We loved it out here. The first year, just getting acquainted. San Francisco, Carmel, Santa Barbara, Laguna Beach, Palm Springs, Death Valley, San Diego. All the resorts and places to play. It was wonderful. Finally, about a year ago, we rented a house in Beverly Hills because Curly thought it would be fun to be in Hollywood. Thought we might get acquainted with some of the motion picture crowd.
What's all this leading to?
To what's happening tonight. I'm almost through now. Then about 2 months ago, something happened to Curly. He was coming downstairs to breakfast one morning when he suddenly lost consciousness and plunged headfirst downstairs.
Oh, I get it. He bumped his head in the fall and he ain't been the same ever since. And now he's mixing with gangsters.
No, I almost wish it was that.
Well, what did happen then?
He wasn't hurt in the fall, but he went to a very well-known doctor to find out why he lost consciousness.
And why did he?
That's the whole story. There's something dreadful the matter with him, something incurable. I don't know much about it. All I know is the doctor told Curly, in 3 months, you'll be dead.
Hey, he didn't.
Yes, he did. In so many words. In 3 months, you'll be dead.
You didn't just take one doctor's word for it.
Oh, no. We've checked with 3 other specialists.
And they all say in 3 months your brother over yonder'll be dead.
Yes, only 2 of those months are gone now.
Funny thing is, he looks so doggone healthy. I ask you, did you ever seen a healthier looking specimen?
That's just it. That's what's so terrible. Except for that one fainting spell, he's never had an illness. He feels wonderful.
You're sure about these doctors you've been seeing?
Oh, yes. There's no use even going into that. They're the best doctors in the West.
Well, where do we come into the picture?
Well, I heard about you boys. Read some of your adventures. I mean, you sounded like the kind of men a couple of people in trouble could depend on.
You're done tootin', honey.
Just a minute, Doc. Let's hear what you have in mind first, Miss Carson.
Well, it's perfectly simple. Naturally, when Curly heard the bad news, he was hit pretty hard. He didn't make a big scene or anything, but he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, "What have I got to lose?"
And he's been going wild ever since?
He's been doing everything he can think of that amuses him.
And right now, it amuses him to be tied up with Blackie North and his bunch of cutthroats.
Yes.
And what do you want us to do?
Look, he's only got a month more to live. If you 3 could sort of look out for him, take care of him, protect him.
Protect him from what?
Why, from himself, I suppose.
That's a funny thing to say.
No, it isn't. Look, you don't understand. If he's got to die, at least he can die with the family name clean. Not not as a criminal. Get him out of Blackie North's clutches. Keep him out of the hands of the police. Keep him from losing his life in some crazy or criminal experiment, or from committing suicide when he's low in his mind. Keep him from hurting himself or anyone else for this month that's left.
Hey, now that's an order that is an order.
In other words, your brother figures he got just a month to live. So what difference does it make what he does or how he does it?
Yes, that's it.
He figures death is sure in 30 days, so it doesn't matter how it comes. Gangster slug, police bullet, gun, knife, rope, or plunge off a cliff in a speeding car. What difference does it make?
Yes, that's it exactly.
Well, honey, it ain't pleasant to say, but what difference does it make?
Oh no, he mustn't. He's fine and clean and good. He's always lived that way until this happened. He can't become something evil now. Something to make sensational headlines for the paper. He mustn't.
If I get you right, you want us to curb his last month of fun so you can write he was a good man on his tombstone?
You're wrong. You never were more wrong. I want him to have all the fun and excitement he wants. All I'm asking is that you folks keep him out of jail. Keep him from harm or violence.
I don't get it, Jack.
I do. She wants us to be guardian angels, conscience, bodyguards, and fall guys for her brother during the next month. She wants us to either fix or take the rap for anything her brother does.
And him not caring what he does.
It's worth $25,000 to me.
25. Jack, that ain't hay.
25,000 and expenses. And here's 1,000 in small bills to show good faith.
What about it, Doc?
Put that grand in your pocket before she changes her mind.
Reggie,
Quite.
you've heard what she said.
Every word. Let's accept.
All right, Miss Carson, it's a bargain. And a bad one, if I'm not mistaken.
It won't be easy. The police are looking for Curly right now.
What's that?
Hey, you didn't tell us that.
Why should I?
I say, Jack, trouble's coming up.
What sort of trouble?
I'm not quite sure, but that's the third time the hat check girl has turned customers away. She keeps telling people the place is full up.
I wonder if they'd let us out.
I think they're just waiting for us to try.
Blackie North is still unconscious on the piano in the next room.
Oh, yeah, just still laying just like I left him.
Miss Carson,
Well,
I think our best move to help your brother will be to free him from those triggermen over there.
they're just Blackie North's men. If you really want to help him, free him from Blackie North.
Eventually, but we'll first wrap up those two gorillas. Doc,
Yeah?
you and I'll go over there. Reggie, you sit tight with Miss Carson, Reggie. Keep an eye on the next room, and especially watch the back door. Don't let anyone poke a gun through the crack and open up on us.
You'll be shot down before you get halfway across the room to my brother.
Are those two men with him?
Yes?
Watch and see. Come on, Doc.
You bet you. Bye, Eve, honey.
Why, Reggie, what's the matter with Jack? He acts like he was drunk.
Good job of acting, too. Staggering closer and closer to your brother's table in spite of everything Doc can do. They're almost close enough. Now watch.
Get them, Doc.
Wahoo! Attaboy, Jack. That's both of them.
Oh, plenty tough. Babies, too.
Oh, hello, Curly Carson, old kid. How are you?
Yeah, what's the idea? Who asked you to crash my party?
Oh, don't be mad, Curly.
I was sitting here quietly drinking with a couple of friends. The next thing I know, you two have beaten them into unconsciousness.
Oh, they sure are unconscious, all right.
Who do you think you are anyway?
How about you coming over to our table and talking it over? I think that's how your sister would like it. She is your sister, isn't she?
Eve? Certainly.
Then come on.
Hey, Jack, where's Reggie gone?
Maybe Miss Carson will know.
Hey, Eve, where's Reggie?
He said he was going out back to mop up.
Yeah, and he's the boy who can do it, too.
Sit down, Carson.
Hello, Curly.
What's the idea, Eve? Are you the cause of this?
The cause of what, Curly?
The whole Blackie North gang, laying around like a bunch of stiffs. Even Blackie himself sprawled across the piano in there.
Do you mind, really, Curly? I mean, they're nothing to you, are they?
Well, why should they be anything to me? I just thought they might be amusing, but Eve, if you think anyone's going to be bounced by Blackie North, or bounce Blackie North and his men around the way they've been bounced around tonight and not pay for it?
How about letting us worry about that, son?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Doc Long, and this is Jack Packard.
Yeah, and Reggie York's out in the kitchen mopping up. Oh, here he comes now. Who's he carrying?
Looks like he mopped up your favorite waiter.
Darned if he ain't.
What about it, Jack? Just drop him anywhere?
Anywhere.
Righto. I've also got the bartender laid out in the kitchen and the hat check girls tied up and gagged in the ladies' room.
Oh, Reggie, son, you've been busying a couple of bird dogs.
Well, if everything's under control, how about shaking hands with Curly Carson?
Quite. Glad to know you, Carson.
Yeah, same here. But, will you tell me what this is all about?
Sure. Your sister here has hired us to play bodyguard and fall guy for you during the next month.
She told you I'd be dead in a month, and that during that time I intend doing whatever it suits me to do.
Yes?
And you three guys are crazy enough to agree to seeing me through.
Why not?
Suits me. You asked for it.
Well, you seem doubtful, fella. I don't know why. We took you away from the Blackie North gang with no particular trouble tonight.
Oh, you aren't through with the North gang by a long way.
They're dangerous.
Unless you or the police put Black North out of the way, he'll get you. As sure as we're sitting here.
Let's not worry about that for now. Your sister said the police wanted you.
Eve, you told?
Why not? They're here to protect you from the police as well as everyone else.
Is that on the square?
Looks like it. We gave our word we see you through everything for a month. Now, why do the police want you?
They don't know they want me. They just want the guy who stole this handful of diamonds out of a certain movie star's bedroom last night.
Holy mackerel, Jack. Looky at them diamonds.
Anybody else know you stole them?
No.
Why did you do it?
Just for the thrill. Just to see if I could.
Mind if I take them?
Sure, why not? What do you want them for?
I was just thinking how pleased the police would be to come along and find these diamonds in Blackie North's pocket.
You mean plant them on Blackie?
Why not? Didn't you say that unless we finished him off or the police got him, that he'd stop at nothing until we were dead?
Yeah, that's true. And the police have been trying to get something on him for a long time.
Then we're doing two good deeds, helping the police capture a long-wanted criminal and fixing it so we won't be murdered. Doc, go out to the bar and get the police on the telephone.
Tell them to hurry out to Maggie's intimate drinking saloon.
Salon.
Yeah, and what should I say when they ask who's talking?
Tell them you're a fairy godmother to all good policemen.
Oh, man, that's something I always wanted to be. Fairy godmother to a policeman.
Jack, we're not going to be here when the police arrive, are we?
Not at all. As quick as Doc has stirred up the police, I suggest we adjourn to the Carson home for a good night's rest.
Yes, everything's prepared for you three to stay with us.
No, I don't want to go home.
But Curly...
I don't want a good night's rest. You know what I want to do? I want to rob a bank.
Curly!
Yeah.
You can't rob a bank.
Oh, yes, I can. For 30 days, I can do anything I want. And you've agreed to cover for me.
Why do you want to rob a bank?
Because I've never robbed a bank, and in 30 days, I'll be dead.
Thank you to our outstanding performers. Nick Martin, our industrious and multi-talented production manager, our sponsor, Dutch Creek Winery, and to you, our audience, for joining us for our 8th season. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune back in for the second show of our triple header from the Our Miss Brooks series. Tune in to see what happens when a little faculty crush becomes a little contentious, particularly when seasonal pranks are involved. Our amazing cast will share that episode coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune back in and shh.